practice packages tailored to prepare our learners sufficiently for final exams, helping your child make the passing choice to holistic education. A school that believes in helping struggling students get up to speed, providing for the mind, body and soul. Enroll your child in any of the grades from baby class to grade 12 and enjoy flexible payment plans with up to 5% discounts for payments made during school holidays. For information, call 0979 404809. Gospel Outreach Christian Academy. Excellence through Christian education.
At Manzi Valley, we pride ourselves in giving you the cleanest and safest mineral water on the Zambian market. Our mineral water is produced in the cleanest and most hygienic, germ-free environment in Zambia, and that's just a fact. We at Natural Valley take pride in the quality of our product so that you can safely enjoy our mineral water, rich in minerals, to satisfy that thirst and revitalize your body. So grab a bottle of Manzi Valley mineral water now to beat that thirst with the cleanest bottled water in Zambia.
Hello, you have heard that change is the only thing that is constant. And of course today, we know that everything in the world keeps on changing. This is why today we're talking about, young people changing the world. And of course, you've also heard people say, the future is bright. And they always talk about the young people being the future leaders. How long are we going to say youths are the future leaders? Those are some of the things we'll be looking at today as I host Mr. Mark Davis. Of course, I'll let him mention the surname. it's quite mammoth for me to say. But yeah, you are watching Check-In here on LITOVIA Television. And of course, as always, today we are checking into that particular issue which matters. And that issue is young people changing the world. What is it that people are doing, the young people are doing to change the world? Are they involving themselves in positive activities that can contribute to the change that we are seeking? Or are they just out there doing other things? We'll be able to hear and get some answers as I discuss with Mr. Mark Davis, a founder of an organization called Mark Charity Organization, or rather Foundation. Yeah. Mr. Mark Davis, I welcome you to this particular TV show.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Blessings. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Great.
Like always, you can catch us live on our social media platforms. That is LITOVIA Television, Check-In TV show, and also See You's in Newsroom. I am your host, Blessings KN, aka The Governor, and also someone's Uncle B. I welcome you to this particular TV show, and let's just get into it. Mr. Mark Davis, I know someone out there is wondering why I'm talking to you about this particular, topic. Maybe to start with, how do you describe yourself? Who is Mark Davis? And please, help us with the surname. It's very important.
All right. My name's, to start with, Mark Davis Simlengola.
Sure.
Yeah. So how do I describe myself? I can say I'm not differently. It depends on where you met me, what I was doing.
Okay.
Yeah. So people know me different, but I know myself to be the people's boy.
Oh wow, the people's boy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what does that mean?
I'm your boy.
Okay.
I'm everyone's boy. I'm just a social person who is there for everybody.
Great to know.
Yeah.
I'm also someone's Uncle B. So I like the fact that you are someone.
Oh, your Uncle B. Then I'm your boy.
I love that. Yeah, we're looking at young people, changing the world, and I'd like to get your first thoughts on this particular topic. What do you make of this particular topic?
Mr. Blessing, this is a very interesting topic that every youth who is moving out there should actually carry in their mind. We have come from the background where we are taught to say we are the future leaders. Now the question is, when is the future? And when you see most of the things that are happening in our country, they need the youth interference. They need youth participation. We're talking about the economical degradation that is actually going on right now. What are we youth doing to change our economical situation? Are we just there complaining to say, no, there's this hardship and whatever? Are we stepping up to do something that is going to change? Or are we holding our government accountable for decisions that they're making? So it's actually an interesting topic.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mentioned in the introduction to say you are a founder of Mark Charity Foundation. Would you be so kind to tell us more about this organization? How did it start? Yeah, what is the motive behind it?
Okay. Mark Charity Foundation is a registered non-government organization with registrars of non-governmental organizations under Ministry of Community Development and Social Services. How did this start? To start with, I've been a person who grew up from a family which is not well to do, and it has always been my dream to change the narrative of my family, change the narrative of my society, or to contribute positively in my society. So that's where the idea of coming up with an organization was actually birthed from. So I grew up covering my long distances for me to go to school. I think that should be 10 kilometers just for me, that's for me to attain my education. So it was so very painful, and I was like, okay, what can I do to change all these things? I have seen people failing to go to school because of different challenges from their families and all. Then the question was, what can I do to change this? Then I have always believed in the point that alone I can't do anything, but when we are a lot, when we can organize, we can get organized. I don't know, whoever is willing, whoever has that passion to change the society, if we can put our fingers, our hands together, our heads together, then we can be able to attain our ultimate goal, which is making our country a better environment for everybody. To make sure that everyone is educated, everyone is living a better life. So that has always been my passion. And how am I going to do that? And then my question, and then I was like, okay, it can be good if I can have an organization that is going to stand out there and that can unite people with different views on how they see things, and who are willing to change the narrative of our society, of different people from different backgrounds and different abilities. So actually, that's how Mark Charity Foundation was actually birthed.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I was looking at your organization, and it is based on four thematic areas. Where you're looking at education, you're looking at is it philanthropy? You're looking at education. You're looking at is it advocacy? Yeah, am I right, or is it charity where I've put philanthropy?
Okay, so we are registered in our four thematic areas.
Okay.
You're right. You have we are registered under health. We are registered under social welfare.
Oh, yeah.
We are registered under education, and you're also registered under advocacy.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So in the area of advocacy, what is it that you advocate for?
Oh, okay. So I think I didn't just mention from the beginning. So Mark Charity Foundation, in these areas of the registration, there are also other sub-thematic areas that you are mainly concentrating on. But I really not want to deal much in that. But under advocacy, we do advocate about early marriages, child abuse, drug abuse, and mental health.
Okay.
So these are 4 main areas of our advocacy. Then under education, we do educate people on entrepreneurship and also empower them. We do educate children on different aspects of abuse and how they can identify when they are being abused. We also sponsor children to school. This is actually our big dream that we have as our organization is growing and as we continue partnering with people that are willing to help us with the resources to be able to send children to school and also support their careers.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I would love to, go into all those areas and talk about them, but because we have, limited time, I would like to maybe get your perspective on mental health, since you advocate for that. Do you think people really understand what mental health is, since this particular TV show really checks into those issues that have to do with mental health? I would like to get your view. Do you think people understand what mental health is?
To some point, not really. People still need to be educated on what mental health is and how they can avoid it or prevent it, and also on how they can come out of it in case they are already in that situation. Yeah, that's why we are seeing a lot of suicide cases, a lot of issues. It's because people don't really understand what they're going through and they're not able to come out of it, out of that situation, and they end up having those evil thoughts of maybe killing themselves just to end everything.
Yeah, suicidal thoughts.
Yes.
Okay, so we are looking at, young people, changing the world. And you are one of those people that are changing the world. Why do I say that? You are a youth and you are running this particular organization with the aim of bringing about change. But the question is, what impact or change has your organization brought forth to the society so far?
Thank you so very much. As we have already mentioned about our registered areas, Max Charity Foundation has actually done a lot of projects, especially this year. We have reached out to street kids. We have talked to them about dangers of drug abuse. We have talked about sexual abuse and how they can actually protect themselves from such kind of addictions or behavior so that they can keep themselves safe, and also trying to tell them or to remind them about their potential that they have beyond being in the streets or mocking people, stealing from people, trying to make them realize to say they have the ability and capability to do something for change. And I can attest to that. We have seen some street kids who are doing very well where business is concerned.
Okay.
Are very good. I think if you buy things in town, those people who sells you plastic bags and the drinks and all those, you can find that most of those people are street kids. They sleep under the bridge.
And they come up with some monies, then they begin to
Yes.
do things. That's interesting.
So now it's just about mindset change.
Yeah.
When we help them to change their mindset and do something bigger than what they feel like they can do, then that is actually okay. So these are changes that youth should, this is a mentality that the youth they should actually start having. What else do we do? What other impact does our organization make into the society? We are talking about the same, the other thematic area, which is social welfare. So under social welfare, we do partner with different facilities that keeps children who are disabled, orphans, and vulnerable children, of course. So how do we help them? I think the economy is bad at the moment, and those people, it's because they have the heart to help, but it's not true that they have all the resources to support those children. So now it's our responsibility as youth, as an organization, as the country, to help, to give a hand to those facilities so that they can help. So time to time, we try to visit these facility centers to educate, to give hope to those children that are kept there, to try to tell them, because some are coming from the background where they've been abused. So we're trying also to change that mindset and show them to say there is always a bright future, or there is always something better than what you experience. Whatever you experience or whatever your current situation is, it is not the and we do help them with basic needs, that may be wheelchairs for those who are disabled. We do provide foodstuffs, so just a lot.
Great. Of course, to you that is watching, you can be part of this conversation. Brother, you can contribute to this, discussion by simply, texting us or calling the number that is showing on the screen. And for those that are, joining us on social media, you can leave your comments there. You can follow the page, which is Check In TV Show. You can also follow and like LITOVIA Television, and also see you in Newsroom. On those, social media platforms, you'll be able to, connect with us. Yeah, Mr. Mark Davis, you have mentioned, people that have been abused, in so many ways, and it's always a bigger issue. Why do I say that? Because we're looking at mental health. Do you have the capacity to, help these people come out of the situation they're in? Or maybe you have taken a step where you partner with some organizations that are specialized and that are trained to handle such issues?
At the moment, we have people who are mental health advocates, activists that we are working with in our organization. And at the moment, we haven't really taken a huge step because of at the level our organization is. But it is our cry or our hope to say we want to reach on the extent where we want to partner where we can get such kind of people and have them trained or going to rehabilitating centers to be trained or to be helped to come out of that particular situation. But at the moment, what we do is we have time to talk and discuss with such kind of people who have been actually abused. We talk to them, try to encourage them, showing them other areas. And we have people like in our organization, like our vice chairperson, Mr. Emmanuel Mwanza. He's a person who grew up from the streets and was just adopted by a person, a white mother, the way he calls him, who he grew up from, and he managed to go to school and he did social work. So we have people who are actually expertise in that field who are also able to give their testimony and also encourage from their experience to encourage those people who are in that same particular situation.
Great.
So that's how we are able to help at the moment. But in our next project, we are looking forward to partner with organizations that are involved into those aspects. And also it's issues of resources, of course, because to make any step and everything like that, it's always about the resources.
Sure.
But when we have the ability, we want to take this far where we can make sure that our society is safe and people are helped.
Okay. This gives me a question. What is the longevity of stay, or rather, how old is your organization?
The organization, from the time it was registered, was just 1 year old.
1 year old?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good for us. Yeah. And in the area of education, since you try to educate, and I believe, do you provide support to those people that maybe that are failing, education-wise? They don't have maybe sponsorship. Do you provide support to such people?
Luckily, at the moment, we have free education. Okay. We thank government for that. We really thank government for that, because a lot of people have been failing to go to school because they couldn't afford the school fees. But through the help of the government, maybe a lot of people have gone back to school. And even in these facility centers that we go to, we encourage them to take the children to school because it is free. And what we basically do is we just help them with school materials, like bags, shoes, books, and that's what we basically help them with.
Yeah,
so they can go back to school.
That was really my concern, because in as much as education from primary school to secondary school is free, there is an aspect of school materials and alike. And with the economy like ours currently, it is very difficult for people to even manage to buy such things. So henceforth, we see people staying home, not because education is not free, but because they cannot manage to buy the necessities to take them to school. For instance, bags, books, and the like. Yeah, but I like the fact that you've answered the question even before I could ask it. Yeah, how's the Zambian environment, political-wise, and the aspect of economy for you people that are running organizations? And you also mentioned that you are a farmer, even though not live, but in the background as we're talking, you mentioned that you are a farmer. How is the environment so far? Do you have the environment where you can, thrive as, individuals, as organizations, as young people?
Don't know if I got your question right, okay. But I would say the environment is not really conducive for the business wise. As an entrepreneur, we are facing a lot of challenges. The economy is not stable. It's not stable, and that is actually making a lot of businesses to fail or not to make profit, or at the end of the day, to fail to pay their employees. Okay. We always encourage entrepreneurship, even from at organization level. We encourage, this is our main aspect, because we know that we can only change the society when everyone has something to do, or we have a source of income. And how do we get that? We can't always depend on government to employ us, and that's why we are seeing such cases increasing, maybe suicidal cases, murder cases, theft, and all those things. Why? Because people doesn't have what to do, and mostly people have a limited minds to navigate or to be creative, to do something that can at the end of the day sustain their lives. So the environment is not good, as much as we are trying to talk about that, because you find that today, if you are doing business, you go to Soweto or wherever you're ordering your things from, you'll find that maybe the order price for Chitenge material is 20 kwacha, and you go resell there, maybe at 25, you're getting a 5 kwacha profit. By the time you go back to order, you find that the order price is at 30 kwacha, then you are selling at 25. So it's quite a challenge. You find that at the end of the day, you feel like you're not doing anything, you can't advance, yeah. So we always cry for economical stability.
Oh yeah, with the coming of CDF, and of course, as the introduction of the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprises, is that been helpful to the young people? Like
very.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of cooperatives being formed, and I've seen people diversing. Though some people have a different mindset, of which we need actually to come out of it. People are not risk takers. A lot of youth, they have a leisure life where you make some little money and you want to use it uncontrollable, and want to be seen. You want to change how you dress, you want to change how you look, you want to change where you stay. At the end of the day, it affects your business. So CDF is actually, I can call it a game changer. Okay. Yeah, it has actually helped a lot of people to come up with viable projects, and that can actually change their livelihood, if at all they are to maintain them well.
I like the fact that you have mentioned to say CDF is a game changer, and today we're looking at change. Of course, young people changing the world. But my question to you again is, you are doing our business administration. You are a student, or should I say, are you graduating this year?
Yeah, I'm graduating next year.
Next year. Yeah, so you're graduating next year as a student, or rather with a bachelor's degree in business administration. There's always an aspect of accountability. There's always an aspect of monitoring and evaluation. So far, do you think CDF has been monitored accordingly, and they are providing the platform where they can evaluate the performance of the expense in terms of our CDF?
I don't think that is the case at the moment, and because I've seen or heard certain cooperatives, after getting money, they just share the money and they close, they disappear. I would love or like, number one, it's actually about mindset change. People who are actually accessing those funds to change their mindset, because it is not for them to squander. It's for them to utilize it so that they can help them now and in the future. It can also help those people who are growing up. It can help their families and children. But now the mistake that we have is, since it's for free, we have just access to them for free, especially those non-refundable funds that are given to them, grants. Yes. So you find that they just want to utilize, to squander it and forget about it. So if you have that money, you are lucky, because it's not every cooperative or people that are able to get that money. If you are able to do that, if you are able to access that money, it's better to plan very well, invest it wisely, so that it can sustain you, it can change your life. Yeah. So, and also it's also on the aspect of the government to make sure that even those people that are being given those resources, there should be issues of accountability, and also maybe checking reports and all that to make sure that the money is that has been given to such people or to these cooperatives is being utilized according to what, to the proposed agenda, and that way it can help, because that money it can help everyone in the society. It can change the society.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mr. Mark Davis, we are looking at the topic, which is young people, changing the world. And of course, change cannot come into effect unless someone does something. And we're expecting the youths to do something for change to be seen. But there is an old adage which says, young people are the future leaders, or should I say youths are the future leaders. What is your take of this particular adage or notion?
Youth are the future leaders. Okay, I just call it as a story that you've been fed all this while, and which has actually affected us. I think it has affected most of the youth, because they're actually waiting for the future, and the future seems not to come. When is the future? That's the question. There is no future apart from today. Yeah. So I would encourage as youth to step up, to change that narrative, to change that mindset, to say, I'm the future leader. The question is, when is the future? How are we going to realize to say, this is the future that you've been waiting for? We have a lot of things that are lagging behind Mr. Blessings, because youth, we are just there seated and we're not doing anything about it.
Mr. Mark Davis, for youths to step up and take up leadership positions and alike, they need to be capacitated, education-wise, resource-wise. They need to have that capacity for them to compete with, the people, or one of my friends, Peter calls the medallions.
Yes.
The people that are holding the positions now. For us to, to push the agenda and be able to be in those positions and change the world, we need to be capacitated education-wise, resource-wise. For instance, for someone to stand for, maybe let's say, to stand as a member of parliament, they need to spend a lot of money.
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
As a youth, you do not have such amount of money for you to compete or to take part, in those, contests or competition. It becomes very difficult for you, even when you have the capacity to lead, it becomes very difficult for you to, to take up such a step and be able to compete. What is your take on that? Do you think youths just need to stay back, or maybe they can work with the old people, the medallists, the medallists, for them to get into those positions? Or do you think the government should find a way in which it should be able to encourage young people to take part in such, leadership positions?
Actually, that's a very great question, Mr. Blessings. We are always, as young people, blocked from taking up certain positions because of, we can say...
Even as you explain that, I would caution you to explain that under a minute, because we are coming to the 9 minutes of our program.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
All right, sir. Youths are the future leaders, are the leaders for now, and it is their responsibility to step up. They won't be given an opportunity to say, youth, hey, who is the youth? Who is what? Come here and do this. It's about you trusting, believing in yourself, you stepping out of your comfort zone and face the reality. You speaking out on things that you are seeing that are not right. And you find that people will do what? Will start believing in you. And if you sit down and just being complaining and about it, you won't achieve anything. So taking up these government officials, it's not, positions, it's not an easy thing, because those people are also selfish. You have selfish leaders, of course, who want to be there. Even when they reach the retirement age, they still want to work under contracts. Then how do we do it? Number one is about collectivism. As youth, we need to be united. We need to be united. I think I like the fact that you mentioned about Peter Kayombo. He has an organization where he tries to educate youth and empower the youth with the different skills and notions to change their mindset to step up and do something for the for the country.
Sure, do something for the country. Of course, today we've been looking at, young people making, rather changing the world. What is it that you're doing as a youth out there in contributing to the change that we are supposed to see as a country, as a society, as the world? What is it that you're doing? I've been talking to Mr. Mark Davis, and he's really making change in this world. He is changing the world by, of course, running an organization called Mark Charity Foundation. You too can do something about it. You can change your society. You need to start small. It's not always that you start big, but you can start small. You can do something. You can incorporate your ideas with other people and be able to push forward the agenda. You've been watching Check-In TV show here on Litovia Television. And as always, we check into those issues that really matter. We don't need to fake it anymore. We have to talk about real issues in real time and with real people. I have been your host, Blessings KN, aka The Governor, and also someone's Uncle B. From me and the entire production team, we're saying goodbye. Like I always say, stay safe, peace, and peace in the Middle East. We're sending out.